Alright, game on! Hey everybody, this is Robert from the Game Room, and we're doing a little tribute video today in Kerbal Space Program. Why a tribute video? Well, that's because today is April 12th, 2015, which means it is the 54th anniversary of the flight of Vostok 1 with Yuri Gagarin on board, who became the first human being to go into space. It is also the 34th anniversary of the first launch of the Space Shuttle, Columbia in particular. So we thought we would go into Kerbal Space Program. I can't talk today. We'd go into Kerbal Space Program and create a rocket that looks like the Vostok rocket and spacecraft, kind of, sort of, and have fun flying a mission, recreating Yuri's round-the-world trip. So here we are in KSP, or KSC, I should say, Kerbal Space Center. I'm not going to talk too much about all this stuff because we're going to be doing a separate video series on that later. And the rocket's already prepared, so let's go over here to the launch pad and select it. And we could have Jebediah, the mascot of Kerbal Space Program, pilot this, but I think we're going to have Sidley Kerman do the piloting because Sidley kind of rhymes with Yuri. Alright, let's launch it. Okay, here we are at KSPC Launchpad number 1, and it's a beautiful day to be launching stuff. We can see the whole Space Center in the background here, the tracking station, the research complex, the VAB, Mission Control Center, and the space plane hangar. The space plane hangar is for launching more horizontal stuff, as you might have guessed. Okay, let's turn on the SAS, the Stability Assist System, get my resources up here, and we look good. We're looking very good for launch. So let's do the traditional countdown. Sidley Kerman looks very happy inside the spacecraft here. In fact, let's take a look inside really quick. This is the cockpit of the Mark I command pod. It's very tiny, like the Mercury spacecraft and also the Vostok spacecraft, and you can't really see anything outside the window right now because it is encased in that fairing, just like the Vostok spacecraft. Okay, let's do our countdown. We are go for launch in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Good ignition, throttle up, and liftoff. Liftoff of Staputnik 1. And it's going very well. Wave goodbye to Kerbal Space Center there. And now, just as we hit 1,000 meters, I'm going to throttle down to help us get through the thick atmosphere. And I'm also going to start tipping the rocket over ever so slightly, so that we can get on our path to orbit. Following the green thrust vector there, which means we're getting the best performance from our engines. It's going very well. Okay, we'll start to be able to throttle up here in a moment. And bingo, full throttle. Yeah, that's a nice rumble we got there. I like it. Okay. Funnily enough, we're not actually that far away from KSP yet, but we're getting there. And actually, the center engine's going to burn out before the rest, which is not what actually happens on Vostok or the Soyuz rocket, but oh well. And there they go. Now let's check on our angle. Whoa! We went up there quite fast, didn't we? Get rid of these fairings and behold the spacecraft in all of its glory. And the attachment points for those struts are just kind of hanging there in space. That's kind of weird. Alright, well, I decided to give it a little extra flair, and it's got all of these science experiments on it that we will use once we are further up in orbit. And the music started playing to let us know that we are there. So, we're actually still on a suborbital trajectory, which means we're going to go up and come back down. We're not going to go around like we're supposed to. So, plan a little maneuver node right here. $40,000, still a bit too low. Let's make it 100,000. That's good. It's kind of a wobbly egg-shaped orbit, but I'll try and lower the orbit once I get down to periapsis here. So let's go back to the regular view of the spacecraft. Let's see the fairings just kind of flying off into space there. And wow, we can still see the other stuff. I wonder if we can go over to it. Nope, it's too far away. But it's still there. And it'll probably keep following us until the game decides it's been destroyed. Alright, so down here it says that that burn is only going to take about 6 seconds, so we're going to move our spacecraft into the correct orientation to prepare for that. Alright, we're good. And now we'll just time accelerate. It's one of the handy features here in KSP, the time accelerate. Whoa! I overshot it. Hopefully that won't be too detrimental. Okay, well, it was still worked well enough. Alright, we have achieved orbit. How about that? And if I pull out a bit here, you can see the orbit of Kerbin's moon. I don't know, some people call it Mun, some people call it moon. I prefer moon. If we go out a bit further, we can also see the second moon, Minmus. We won't be going there just yet. We're going to concentrate on our own orbit as our fairing buddies continue to fly behind us. Although, since they're on a different orbit, they're going to plunge back down into the atmosphere and be destroyed. But we are going to continue to circle. And I guess we technically don't need this stage anymore. We're supposed to be off on our own now. But I put a small engine on it since it's just for re-entry purposes, so I guess we'll keep this stage for now. We've still got plenty of fuel in it. Alright, well, we're starting to go into the dark side, so I'm gonna time accelerate by a factor of 1,000 to get us back into the... Whoa, I wish it wouldn't do that. Freaking finder bars. Okay, well, we're back on the night side of the planet. I mean the day side, so let me shift our Stay Putnik spacecraft around. And you can behold the glory and all these different scientific instruments. Let me also roll it around here a bit. Alright, we can go inside and we can see the stars outside. Sidley Kerman seems to be very happy right there, so let's do some science. Now this is kind of sort of pointless because we're in sandbox mode, so the science doesn't actually do anything, but we'll do it anyway. We'll toggle on our radioplasma wave system. We'll toggle the shutter on our telescope. Can't use the barometer up this high, but we'll open the multispectral imaging platform, the solar particle collector, the magnetometer boom, containment pod. Turn on the display on the gravioli detector. And we'll come over here and we'll observe the mystery goo. The goo seems to have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to have become brittle. We'll transmit that. Even though there's actually no point to doing that because I think I just made a mistake. I once again forgot to put batteries on this assembly, so we have just run out of power, which means we could be in trouble. Hang on here for a second. That's one of the best parts about KSP is when you make a really dumb mistake and your Kerbals could potentially pay for it. Well, the only way to build up charge again is to turn the engine on, which we will do. Okay, there we go. We'll turn on SAS for a moment. Now we'll see what that's done to our orbit. Wow, it has shot our apoapsis way the crap out there. And raised our periapsis a bit too, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn SAS back on, and we're going to maneuver around to one of our green reticles here on the... Whoa, that's enough, that's enough. Go the other way, go the other way. And we're going to try and lower our apoapsis, which is basically the word for the highest point in our orbit. Hey, that's not working too badly there. Uh-oh. Well, we've run out of fuel, or at least I think we have. Huh, that's weird. Oh, that's because this is in total. We've run out of fuel in this stage, so we will discard it. We'll turn that off so we don't waste fuel. Say goodbye to the stage. Okay, well, back to doing science. I'll turn off SAS. And we'll make a note of all this stuff. The solar particles will allow for better estimates to be made of the composition of Kerbal's outer atmosphere. Sounds good to me. We'll check out the Goresat here. Complete measurements are made of Kerbin's reflected solar irradiance. Perhaps long-term recordings of such data will reveal the impact on Kerbin's climate of the near-constant rocket launches made from the planet's surface. We'll see. We'll see what that does. Well, actually, we won't, because like I said, we're on sandbox mode here, so all this science stuff doesn't mean jack crap. Log the magnetometer data. Interactions with the solar wind significantly distort Kerbin's magnetic field, resulting in a compressed field on Kerbin's solar side and a tapered tail on the opposite side. Oh, very interesting. Alright. We won't worry about that mystery goo right now. We'll... Orbital telescope. Trees, mountains, rivers. Who knew there was more to Kerbin than the KSC? Who knew indeed? Let's check out this mini goo. The goo feels right at home here. Good for it. Alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, it's a lot easier to roll the spacecraft with that big stage gone. So we're going to use the multispectral imaging platform. Bright UV emissions are detected from this celestial body. Very interesting. Let's record this. A faint third Van Kerman radiation belt is detected. It is most likely caused by an influx of charged particles thrown off of Kerbal during a CME, which would be something or other mass ejection. I forget what the C is for. I'm not being a very good astronomer right now. I apologize. No. Okay, I think that's basically all of our science experiments. Oh, and the Science Junior Bay. Let's see what happens when we do that. The high radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would be fun to paint the rocket with this. I wouldn't actually recommend that. Okay, well, we'll reset that, and let's put away all of these science experiments. Shutters closed on that, close the multispectral, close the particle collector, and close the magnetometer boom. That boom is really big. I'm not sure they'd be able to compress it into that hull right there. Oh, maybe they could. Okay, I don't think we've got anything else open or sticking out at the moment. Oh yeah, the mystery goo. Mini goo containment pod, close that. Close that down. Okay, I think we're good for now. Shut off SAS and just let ourselves drift. I'd have Sibley Kerman get out of the capsule and float around, but you couldn't actually do that on Vostok. Not till the Voskhod program and its successor, the Soyuz. So I think what we're going to do right now is we are going to time accelerate a bit, because our power is steadily draining, but we might be able to make it around again before it drains too much that we can't get into proper orientation and fire for re-entry. Alright, looks like we made it around again. So, let's go ahead and do that re-entry. Turn SAS back on again. Maneuver over to this green X reticle. Okay, that's good. And we'll power that engine on up to full throttle. And let's see what happens. I try to actually like to land on the actual land, if possible, because that's what pretty much all Soviet spacecraft since Vostok have done. And I think we're going to be able to do it. Let me adjust the angle here a little bit. Oh yeah, this is going to work out very nicely. Yep. Our deorbit burn worked out very well. Alright, well, turn off the SAS, and we'll just time accelerate here. And watch as our altitude keeps on going down as we fly over the surface of Kerbin until we hit the atmosphere at 70 kilometers. And we're going to... I'm going to do a little bit of maneuvering without the SAS just to show you that I can. And we're now flying over the highlands of Kerbin, perhaps a little bit like the steppes of Russia. One other thing I won't be able to show you here in Kerbal Space Program is the ejection. See, in the old Vostok capsules, because they landed on hard surface instead of splashing down in the ocean like the United States' Mercury capsules did, they weren't exactly sure how violent that would be, so they included the ability for the cosmonauts to eject. Oh, I see we're starting to get some of that re-entry heating at 30 kilometers and descending. That'll help bleed off our speed, so we don't slam into the surface and pancake ourselves. Oh, getting pretty intense there. Yes, sir. Let's take a look at the inside. Oh, yeah, you can see the flames going from the inside, too. And Sidley Kerman just thinks this is the best thing ever. Alright, we're through re-entry. So yeah, like I was saying, the cosmonauts would eject, and that led to a little bit of disputation regarding giving Yuri Gagarin a record for altitude, because he didn't actually stay with his craft all the way down to the ground. And speaking of the ground, since we're in the highlands, that's a bit higher up from Kerbal Space Center, so let's ditch this extra weight. Normally I wouldn't do that because, you know, valuable science experiments and all that, but since we're in sandbox it doesn't matter, so we'll also deploy the parachute. Plus it's accurate, you know. The only thing that came back from the whole Vostok rocket and spacecraft was just the tiny little capsule. And we'll watch it go down, 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 and any moment now it'll explode spectacularly. Sidley Kerman also seems a bit more nervous now. I don't know why. Oh, there it goes. You can see the shadow, and boom! And as we watch all of that fantastically explode, the parachute opens, slowing us down to 6.7 meters per second. And Sidley is happy again. We'll time accelerate. You don't want to time accelerate through parachute opening, because that could rip it off, and that could be a very bad day. And we're coming down, and you also don't want to time accelerate through landing, because that could also end up being a bad day. And bonk! There we go. We're down on the surface. Let's take a crew report. Oh no, we're in the deserts. We are definitely in the deserts. How about that? So we'll just have Sidley pop out there and climb out. We'll have him go stand next to his spacecraft. How about that? Little anecdote from Vostok 1. After Yuri Gagarin ejected, he parachuted down into a farmer's field, and a farmer and her daughter were out there working, and they saw what must have been, the very strange sight of a guy in a bright orange spacesuit and big white helmet parachuting down into their field. And as he came over to them, they started backing away, because I'm sure they thought he was like an alien or something. And he called out to them, in Russian of course, and said, "Do not be afraid, I am a Soviet citizen like you who has just returned from space, and I must find a telephone to call Moscow." Alright. Well, we'll have Sidley climb back in. Actually, we'll just for ducks, we'll have him... Actually, we'll have him plant a flag. Yes, let's have him plant a flag. Actually, I don't know why I'm bothering. I'm probably not going to play this thing again. We're just doing it for giggles. Vostok 1 commemoration. And I'm going to have it say, "Let's go," because that's what Yuri said as Vostok 1 lifted off. He said it in Russian. I don't know how to spell or write or talk Russian. So, yeah. EVA report. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary to get here, was it? Nope, not really. And you know what? Just for giggles, we'll have him do a surface sample, too. Lots of sand and rocks here. You're thankful that you've been in a climate-controlled environment because it sure looks hot out there. The sand is dry and loose, and it looks like it's going to take some effort to clean your gear afterwards. Probably. Alright, we'll have him grab on there and get in and recover the vessel. And because we're in sandbox mode, all it says is that Sidley Kerman's ready for the next assignment. Okay, well that was pretty dang awesome. And if we go to the tracking station here, we can see our flag planted on Kerbin right there. Gives us the coordinates and everything. Alright, I'm going to time accelerate a little bit here because, as I said, it's not just the anniversary of Vostok 1's flight. It is also the anniversary of the first flight of the Space Shuttle, and we're going to do a little something to commemorate that as well. As soon as KSC gets back into the sunlight here. Okay, here we are. It's a wonderful morning again here at KSC, and let's go into the VAB and I can show you what's going on here. Alright. So some of these stock parts that come with the program includes this, the Lear Star A1. And it is a space shuttle, for all intents and purposes. Flip it around here because I actually tested this out before, and this is going to be kind of interesting because, well, quite frankly, when I did a test run on this, it did not go well. It did not go well at all. So I'm going to try this again. I'm not really expecting it to go well, but I'll try my best. So let's pick out a crew. Let's have Jebediah and Dude Fraud Kerman. That is a weird name, Dude Fraud, but I like it. We could put, as you can see, we could put a whole bunch of other Kerbals in here, but we can't actually see them, so we're not going to bother with that right now. All right, let's do the launch. It's probably going to take a moment here. Okay, here we are. Back at KSC with this big hunk of junk. We can see Dude Fraud and Jebediah there. Let's go inside the Mark II cockpit here. It's actually a very nice nice setup here. You can see KSC's flag there. We can see Jebediah. Jebediah's getting kind of antsy. He wants to go. Okay. Well, let's turn on the stability system and the RCS. Throttle up to full. And let's do it. Okay, here we go. Activating all of the engines now. And immediately it wants to start tipping over. I don't mind a little bit of tip, but I don't want it to tip too much. Let's see if we can even get this into space. Okay, we're at 1,000, so I'm going to throttle down. Okay, so far this is actually going pretty well. I just don't want it to tip over too much. How much do you want to bet I'm going to run out of all of my RCS propellant? Oh dear. Oh dear, it's tipping a bit too much. Yeah, this could be bad. Oh yeah, it's tipping way too much. Yeah, this is not going to work. I'm going to throttle up to full and see if that'll help. Probably not. Okay, there are the SRBs. Toss them away. And, oh yeah, it's starting to wobble. While I was busy keeping an eye on other stuff, it started to wobble. Ah, jeez. And we're not even at 4,000. Oh, no, that's a big nope. Nope. We have to keep above the horizon. Yeah, somehow I don't think we're going into space. We're just going all over the place here. Yeah, we're just too low and the atmosphere's too thick and it just does not want to go up. Let's see, let me try and... There we go. That's a better angle. Okay, well this is actually going a lot better than the first time I test flew this. But it's probably not the absolute best it could be right now. I have no idea what these four things are over here. Other engines? Who knows? But at least we are gaining some altitude. Although somehow, I don't think we're going to be getting into space. It just goes to show you how well everything was planned for the Space Shuttle, because, you know, it's kind of a wacky concept, taking a big old space plane and slapping it onto the side of a rocket when it really should be on top. In fact, there was one concept for the Space Shuttle where they were going to take a Saturn V first stage and put the Space Shuttle orbiter on top of it. And yeah, remember that thing I said about things going well? Yeah. I think what's beginning to happen now is that... oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Should not have done Yeah, as the tank's emptying, we're losing stability. Yep. 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 Okay, well, we're about to run out of fuel here. Alright, I'm going to try and roll this thing over. Okay, that's good, that's good. And then... well, that sort of worked. Okay, well, we gotten rid of our tank. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up! Pull up more! Pull up more! Alright. Well. Alright, well, I think I actually saved this. Well, we didn't go into space, but Jebediah and Dude Fraud are not paced on the side of the landscape. Although this is not a very good place to try and land, so I'm going to try and pull the nose up and get up over these mountains. Oh, yeah, we could not have picked a worse place to try and land. I think this is only one of the simple turbojet engine. Alright, well, yeah, not exactly what I was hoping for, but not bad either. Let's see, where are we right now? Okay, we're over here, which is, yeah, like I said, probably the worst place we could be, because there is not a lot of smooth places for landing. Yeah. We're probably gonna have to do some fast forwarding in the video here while I hunt around for somewhere to put down. So we'll see you on the other side of this. It also doesn't help with that we're not really going very fast. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put down over in this valley over here. So I'm going to cut the throttle down to about half. I'm going to put the gear down. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, that was close. Okay, I'm going to throttle down completely. And... Oh, that was not quite the landing I was hoping for. It's probably because it was too rough, but the crew compartment did survive. Oh, that was a nice explosion. Oh, okay, well, yes, the crew compartment did survive. Jebediah and Dude Fraud are alright. And, Jeb just thought that was the best thing in the world. So they're ready for the next assignment. Okay, well, fortunately, Columbia's first mission did not end like that either. And there you go. There's our little video that we're going to put up as a tribute to both the flight of Yuri Gagarin and the first flight of Columbia, piloted by Robert Crippen and... Oh gosh, I should know this. He was an Apollo 16 astronaut. Why is his name not coming to me? No, it wasn't Buzz Aldrin. That's Apollo 11. John Young and Robert Crippen, that's right. So, also look forward to our other KSP videos we're going to be putting up here in a few days. And also check down the bottom of this video for our links. Like, comment, subscribe. All forms of interaction help us out as YouTubers, and we'd also love to hear from you. We're also going to be putting up a Patreon here pretty soon for Game Room Live, so please go over there and support us and participate in the different tiers there. Who knows, you might be gaming with us in the future, you might get a game you requested to be done. But that's enough babbling out of me. I'm Robert, this is the Game Room Live, and we'll catch you later. Bye!